Hmm. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 1.2.6. So, what was the topic today actually? The topic is no fear, no not fear, not ritual, but love. Very good. Very interesting topic. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6 Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yatho Bhaktir Adokshaje ahaitukī apratihatā yayatma suprasidati. This is the sixth shloka from the second chapter of first canto. Very popular definition of bhakti in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the translation? Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The supreme occupational dharma for all humanity is that by which man can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Okay, this is very lovely, beautiful, powerful, very important shloka which defines what is devotion. Here it is mentioned that Prabhupada writes in the translation that the activity of devotion completely satisfies the self. So if somebody wants to be happy, blissful in his life, then he must engage himself in pure devotion. Then only the Atma becomes happy. That is the secret to happiness. No other thing can make the Atma happy. Now, the question is, we need to understand this principle of devotion. So, what is bhakti? When will it make us truly happy? Here in this shloka, it is mentioned that the bhakti should be ahaitukī apratihatā. Then only it will become yayatma suprasidati. So devotion, in order to make us suprasidati, it has to be ahaitukī apratihatā. It has to be ahaitukī bhakti. It has to be apratihatā. So the words ahaitukī and apratihatā are literally synonyms to the word bhakti. Bhakti means ahaitukī, bhakti means apratihatā. Pure bhakti I'm talking about. So these two elements are the ingredients of devotion. Ahaitukī, apratihatā. What does it mean by ahaitukī? The translation by Prabhupada is ahaitukī means causeless in the translation. Apratihatā means unbroken. So our devotion should be causeless and our devotion should be unbroken. Causeless devotion, unbroken devotion. That will give us yayatma suprasidati. So can somebody tell me what do you mean by causeless? Who wants to tell what is causeless? Devotion should be causeless. There should not be any cause, agenda behind devotion. Because any activity that we perform in this world, generally it has an agenda behind it. Like, for example, if you are working for a company, that means you need a salary, you need money, then you, and the reason why you are working is because you'll get salary. That is the hetu, cause. If there is no salary, why will you do it? So there is a cause for your working. If people do so many activities and there is always a cause. Some people like some results, money. Some people like name and fame. Some people like power. So every activity that we do has a cause. Okay. But here, devotion means, pure devotion means no cause, causeless. There should be no cause. Then it is called pure devotion. You should not expect any name, fame by doing devotion. You should not expect comforts. You should not expect freedom from suffering. You should not expect honor, because these may be factors why you perform devotion. But true devotion, pure devotion, should not be with cause. It's interesting, right? That how can it be like that? That's how it is. Anya abhilashata shunyam jnana karmadi anavratam. No abhilasha. When we do devotion, we only want Krishna to be happy. That is the only desire. We have no other agenda behind, hidden agenda. So you understood. So devotion should be free from any agenda, any result, any cause. Hetu should not be there. It's very difficult to understand. Let me try to explain it. Okay. Next point is, Vasudev writes that it has to be apratihatā. Apratihatā means unstoppable, unbroken. Devotion cannot be stopped by any condition. Bhakti will go on unstoppable. Even problems come, you do devotion, your health worries, no problem. The whole world stops, you will continue devotion. That is the nature of devotion. It is interesting, right? Two things are there in devotion, pure devotion. Ahaitukī, no cause, there is no hidden agenda. Second is unstoppable. Nobody can stop it. It's quite interesting to understand, analyze. People, we have to understand this. Nothing can stop. No time, no place, no circumstance can stop devotion. Quite interesting. It gets now. Actually, one more thing I want to tell you actually. You know why it is unstoppable? It's because it is ahaitukī. As because there is no cause, that's why it is unstoppable. Can somebody explain why? I told that devotion is unstoppable because there is no cause for devotion. Can somebody explain how? I want to hear from somebody. Chalo, let's analyze.
Like I think is like if we are working, there is a they will get salary. If the salary is stopped, so we won't work. The
Ah.
cause is stopped, but here there is no cause. That's why it won't stop.
That's true, actually. Yeah, if it is based on some, yeah, you got the answer right, actually. If there is salary, if something is there that you get from devotion, if somebody stops that, then you'll leave the devotion because there is a cause. For example, if you have so many problems in life, and then because of problems, no, you did devotion to stop the problems, and then the problems came, and then you stopped the devotion because problems came. Or if you did devotion for money and you became rich, then you stopped devotion. So they're interlinked. Ahaitukī, apratihatā are interlinked. One is dependent on another. So devotion should be ahaitukī, apratihatā. Then only it becomes yayatma suprasidati. Okay. Now the question is that what is this ahaitukī, causeless? How can it be causeless? When will it be causeless? How can it be causeless? The devotion is for adokshaja. We perform devotion for adokshaja. That means adokshaja means Krishna is adokshaja. Adokshaja means one who cannot be understood by your material senses. One who cannot be perceived by material things, by your eyes, by ears, by your mind. Krishna is beyond all these material things. So these material things cannot be the cause for devotion. Okay, here our who is said our Yashwant says that when we do pure devotion, then it will become causeless devotion. When we do pure devotion, it will become causeless. You have to give a big lecture on this, actually. You have to define what is pure devotion, what is causeless devotion. No, it's difficult. You cannot explain like that, you know. Causeless means what? What when does it become causeless? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago to give us the highest level of devotion. The highest level of devotion is experienced or practiced by whom? Who practices the topmost level of devotion? Who? Can somebody guess? Tell the answer. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us the highest level of devotion, the peak of perfection in devotion. He wanted to give us that to us. We are trying to understand what is devotion today. Ahaitukī, apratihatā, yayatma suprasidati. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes beyond ahaitukī, apratihatā. That is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give the level of devotion as practiced by gopis. Gopis' love for Krishna It's beyond ahaitukī, apratihatā. Ahaitukī means cause, causeless. Apratihatā means unstoppable. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give us more than that. Gaur Purnima is coming on 3rd of March. We are going to celebrate. So what we are celebrating? We are going to celebrate the highest level of devotion. That is Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur Dasa Dasanudasa. Devotion as practiced by gopis. Gopis' love for Krishna is not something which is understood from Shastra. Oh, the devotion means Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yatho Bhaktir Adokshaje. They didn't understand these philosophies and then they practice devotion based on Shastra or based on some philosophy. Do you think their devotion is like that? That they understood what is Krishna, they understood the philosophy of devotion, and then they applied the principles, and then they achieved that. Of course, they know all the philosophy, but their emotions for Krishna are beyond. Their love for Krishna is spontaneous. It is called Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti means that devotion which is not something cultivated, it is their character, it is their swabhava. Water is always liquid, it flows. The dharma, the water is flowing, fire is burning, it is the nature of the fire. Like that, gopis, their swabhava is but to love Krishna. It is not that, oh, there is no cause for my devotion, there is unstoppable. There is no question of unstoppable or cause, nothing to do with these factors. They are beyond that. Their love is natural. Their love is their swabhava. There is nothing more than love for them. That is beyond the definition of what we understood from Shastra. That is pure. That devotion Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give. There is only one thing in their heart, love for Krishna. We may perform devotion now, which is based on Shastra. Guru has instructed us. We follow the pure unconditional love. Yeah, Murti Garu says unconditional. Now, I want to emphasize on one thing. Such love cannot be cultivated. That is the swabhava. That is the swabhava. We have a definition of devotion, but there is no definition of devotion for gopis. It is inside their nature. It is their atma. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give that devotion to us. That means where we are not doing devotion, ahaitukī, apratihatā, that is there, but we are going beyond that, beyond a thinking that devotion to Krishna is my duty. There is no question of duty. It is natural. It just love for Krishna is natural. No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says practice that devotion where it becomes your internal character, subhava. Now I have a question. Till now I spoke about no cause, ahaitukī, apratihatā. Now I am saying go beyond that, and we should aspire to cultivate devotion like gopis, like Yashoda, like Gopas. How to get into that level? where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, there, that is the perfection of devotion, where our devotion becomes spontaneous, natural, swabhava, character. Now, I want to ask you one serious question. Can we ever be able to cultivate such devotion? Is it possible by rules and regulations? Yeah, rules are good. So when will we be able to go to that level? When will we practice our love for Krishna at the level of gopis, Yashoda? When will be our heart transformed? And any answer for this? Any answer for this? Any answer? When will we develop that level? Spontaneous, natural, swabhava, character, internal feeling. That only comes, that only can come in us if Krishna mercifully grants us that devotion. That cannot be practiced on our own. That comes ahaitukī. Krishna has to give us that mercy. We are not qualified for that. Krishna has to give us that feelings. But when will that happen? When will Krishna become merciful on us? For that, we need to create intense desire to have such devotion. Laulyam, it's called greed. We have to aspire. We have to become greedy. Oh, when will I love Krishna with the same feelings by which gopis love Krishna? Cowherd boys love Krishna. Yashoda loves Krishna. We have to develop the greed. Now the question is, when will that greed come in us? Any answer? When will the greed come in us? I want to hear the answer for this. When will we get the greed? When will we develop the laulyam? Laulyam ekalam. Only one thing that is needed to go to that highest level is to have greed, intense greed. Now I have a question. Tell the answer. When will we develop that intense greed? Answer. Chalo. My dear friends, what happened? Any answer to this question? Trigun Yashwant Murthy garu. ఎప్పుడొస్తుంది సార్ మన మనసులో అలాంటి కోరిక? Any answer? By serving the Vaishnavas. Okay, that's not a bad answer. Yashwant, are you there? Okay, when you really
Yes,
love
King.
him. Okay, Murthy garu says when you really love him. Okay, but there is an answer to this. I want to give you a simple answer. When that can attending kirtan, okay, attending kirtan, serving Vaishnavas, and then when you have love for Krishna, actually the process is very simple. That is the process that we have to follow. The process is when we hear, when we do Shravanam, when we hear about the sweetness of Vrindavan, when we keep hearing Bhagavatam, when we hear about so sweet Vrindavan, so sweet gopis, Yashoda, and we hear about the loving relationship between Krishna and gopis, the intimate affection, when we hear more, when we hear about the parental love of Yashoda for Krishna, when we hear about the friendship between Krishna and his friends, the loving, very friendship, when we keep hearing, then something awakens inside. What awakens when we keep hearing about the sweetness of Vraja, sweetness of gopis, sweetness of Krishna, sweetness of Yashoda, Gopas? Then we also want to experience that feeling. We desire that. I want that. I want that emotion for Krishna. That is not a material desire like not like money, wealth, fame, beauty. No, it is not like that. It is not a material desire which should not be the cause. It is a natural response of the Atma to the sweetness of Krishna. So the greed comes in response to hearing about the sweetness of devotion, sweetness of Vraja, Vrindavan, Gopis, Gopas, their beautiful relationship, their sweet activities. We feel that I also want that. That is the awakening within. And when we start having that desire, then Krishna gives that as a mercy to us. We cannot, we can have greed, but we cannot have that. Krishna gives that as a mercy. It is our natural response about, it is our natural desire when we hear, but Krishna gives it. So we have to associate with the devotees who have such feelings. We have to hear a lot about Vraja, and then we should pray for mercy. Then Krishna will activate that emotion for that pure love. I hope this made some sense. I hope you understood. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us. That's why it's called ahaitukī. Ahaitukī means causeless. Causeless means we didn't create any cause. Krishna became the cause. Krishna gave that to us. Ahaitukī. Okay. Thank you so much. All the best to you. I hope you understood the principle, the whole point. Is it clear? Anybody has a question for me? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us that highest level. Unnatojjvala rasa. Unnata ujjvala rasa. Thank you. Any question? Yashwant Trigun. 1 second. Let me check. Some questions are there. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. It's clear. Yashwant. So I want to. So that desire has to be. That desire has to be there. Laulyam, greed, and greed will come when we hear about Krishna. We have heard about their sweet loving relationship, and we desire, we aspire for that. Okay, thank you so much. All the best. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna. What is the, okay, now Murthy Garu is asking a question, how to know about the experience of gopis? The experience of gopis can be understood from Bhagavatam, from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we need to be in touch with the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrit, and we need to hear from devotees, from gurus, from senior advanced devotees. So when we hear in Bhagavatam, if you see the 10th canto, there are beautiful, loving, reciprocatory relationship happening in the 10th canto. Open the book, and you can read everyday Bhagavatam. So many. Okay? Then only Laulyam happens. Yes, you're right. So when we keep hearing, when we hear the sweetness about their relationships, then we also want to experience that feeling for Krishna. We want to serve Krishna in that same way, with that beautiful, sweet feelings. That desire will come. Then Krishna, seeing that desire in us, he mercifully installs, he puts that, he activates that love for us in that raga anuga, spontaneous. There is no cause. Just like a mother who loves her child, so we will love Krishna like somebody, there is no reason. We just love out of very beautiful feelings, and we don't know. There is no cause for that. Thank you so much. Shira Prabhupada Ki Jai.